Hey everyone, I wanted to go over change orders today in our financials. We know it wouldn't be construction if things didn't change in the project quite constantly. So we've added change orders within the financials so that you can track those changes and gain approval for them. So change orders are found in the project under financials, which is where all the money lies. And you can click on the change orders tab, or you can scroll down and click on change order hyperlink right here in the budget summary. The first thing I want to tell you is that only approved change orders will hit this budget summary right here. So even if you have change orders in there and it's showing up as a zero, it's because those change orders are not approved yet. Once they're approved, they'll show up here and reflect and add to the budget total price right here. To create a change order, you're just going to click on this change orders tab and click on add change order in the top right corner. Now, in this change orders tab, you're going to have some information. The first thing you'll have is a from and a to. So the from is your business information. This is all of the information that is pulled from your company settings. And then the to will populate with your client. So if you've invited a client to your project, it will automatically populate with this person. You can always edit them within the people right here. So I can add, a street address, tags if I wanted to, anything like that. Or I can remove them and add somebody completely different by clicking on add remove and add someone. And then you can really quickly just add, let's say we want to add Morticia instead. In the top right corner, you'll have a date. This is the date that the change order was created, and then you'll have an optional due date here. Additionally, you'll have a line items, so you can add items from your price book or create the item. And then down here in the attachments, you'll be able to add any attachments for that change order. Finally, up in the top right corner, you'll have a title and a description. You'll definitely want to name your change order, and I like to name mine what's changing. So specifically, we'll do pool spa changes. And then in the description, we can say what exactly is changing. So for example, I can say, you know, we're adding an additional spa, making the pool larger. Something like that. This description is not the actual item description for the change order. And usually your clients aren't really going to see this. This is more for you so that you know what's changing essentially. We can add a due date. So this is the date that maybe I want them to have the change order reviewed and approved by. And then once it's approved, I can then go ahead and add it to my invoices. So I'll have two options here. I can either add from price book, so I can click on here and add some items from the price book. I can also search for my price book option and I can add that. And then I can just click on this to adjust the information in here. So maybe we're going to be, we're doing some more materials. We need some rebar and shotcrete for the pool. And we're going to be judging this based on square feet. So we'll add in the total unit cost for now. We'll just say that this is $250. And then whatever the amount of square feet that we're adding, essentially. So I'll go ahead and just add, 400 square feet. Okay. Perfect. And now, one of the things I wanted to talk about here is the tax. If you have a tax rate set up on your budget already, you can tax this item. If this item is already taxed in your price book, it will show up with the tax here. Now you can optionally tax or untax this at any point in time. But if this box is grayed out, it's because you do not have tax selected on your budget, or when you pulled over items from your estimate, they didn't have tax and you never set up tax in the budget. So if this option is grayed out right here, it just means that you have to add tax to your budget first in order to tax this option. Additionally, you'll have everything else like your markup and things like that that you might need. And once you're done with this, there's no need to save it. You can literally just exit out of the modal and it will auto save for you. And if you've made a mistake or you don't want this line item, you can always use the ellipsis menu in the top right corner to delete the item. So now I have my quantity, my unit price, and then my price right here, as well as my estimated tax down here and the total changes. And then additionally, I can add, maybe I have a photo or a document that I want to add here. I can add it really quickly just like that. So potentially these could be drawings, these could be new plans, these could be the original receipts for things. Whatever you'd like to do, you can definitely add in the attachments here. And then finally, you'll always have comments on your change orders. So if your client is active in BuildBook, they can view their change order and leave comments on the change order to ask you different types of questions and things like that. You'll always get a notification anytime a client leaves a comment on anything. So don't worry about missing those comments, and they don't need to mention you in here. They can literally just leave the comment and you'll get a notification about that. Additional options in the top right are going to be your ellipsis menu, where I can request approval from the client, or I can mark the change order as approved my own self. This is really nice if you're sitting with the client and you might want to print out this change order, but they're sitting with you and they've given you verbal approval. You can mark this change order as approved yourself. And if you ever need to, you can remove that approved status at any point in time. And additionally, you have some options to delete the change order. Within the preview and share, you'll be able to share your change order, just like when you share basically anything else within BuildBook, so like your estimates and things like that. This is what the change order will look like. It'll have an attachments where your client can download that attachment themselves. And then in the top left corner, there's going to be a client visibility. So again, depending on how you have your budget set up, you'll have a client visibility option in here as well. So maybe you don't want them to see kind of everything and you just want them to see the summary. You can click on summary and apply changes, and they'll just see a lump sum total right here, just like so. Otherwise, you can be as detailed as you want. Maybe I don't want them to see the quantity and unit price, but I want them to see the category, the totals of those categories, the line items, the descriptions, those types of things. And they'll see that here, just like so. Now, like I said, the description of the item and the description of the change order are completely different, and your clients won't see that. They'll only see the description of the item. So that description in your change order right here is not actually going to be seen by your clients. Again, it's more for you so you can get a bird's eye view of everything. Now, once I'm ready to share my change order, I can either email it, copy a link to the change order, so I can copy this link really quickly and send it out via Mobily so that they can click on the link in their mobile device and have it pull this up. You can print the change order or export the change order as a PDF at any point in time. Again, if I want to request approval from the client, I can just click on this. And then essentially what this is going to pop up and say is that your client has to have permissions to financials. So if you've invited your client to BuildBook and you want them to approve this change order, they can do that, but they have to have access to the financials in order to do so. Otherwise, you can mark this change order as approved yourself. And once it's approved, again, it will hit that budget summary right here. Finally, within the change orders, again, you're able to see what the change order is for, the change order number, and then that little description letting you know what that change order is for. Additionally, you'll have a status that tells you if this is drafted or approved, a due date, and the amount of the order. Now, your client will be able to approve these change orders on their own when you select change orders for them or send it for approval. They'll get an email, but they'll also get a notification within BuildBook up here that asks them to check out the change order and approve it. Finally, we'll talk about how we can add change orders really quickly to our invoices. So whenever you create an invoice, you'll notice that if you click on add budget items, that there are no change orders here in the budget items, of course. And that's because change orders technically are not a budget item. They are a custom item. So in order to do that, you'll just want to click on add custom item. And then I like to add what the change order was for. So we can put change order 1100, oops, and then pool spa. updates. Again, you can add in a description here about what the change order was for. So we're, making spa larger. You can also put something in here like this is an approved change order. And the reason why I like to do that is because I don't like to actually send out change orders to clients for payment until they're approved. But once I've done that, I can then really quickly put here that this was already an approved change order. So when my client does view this invoice, they'll see that, oh, I've already approved this change order. And then you'll just want to put in the total cost of the change order here. We can do the 100,000. We can tax it, and then we'll save it. And as you see, it creates the exact same amount of the change order. Finally, what I like to do for my change orders, specifically in my invoices, is in the description, I like to put change order 1100 and then pool, spa. And when I go back to my invoices, I'm going to really quickly be able to see that this invoice specifically is for a change order for the pool and spa. And then I can also see it here that it matches with this particular change order. Now, if you have any questions about that, feel free to let us know. You can click on this little question mark help icon. But otherwise, happy building.